Well, here I am talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm about 10 minutes in the door, so this is definitely a very fresh review. And is Spider-Man worth watching? Well, let me tell you. The answer is simply yes. If you are a Marvel fan, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you have just seen one of the best Marvel movies they've ever made. This one is absolutely a killer. It ticked all the boxes. I have no critiques. I turned to my daughter at the end of this movie and said, this was perfect. There is nothing more I want from this movie. It was a perfect runtime, a perfect story, perfect acting. I am just blown away with this movie, and it gives me great hope and joy that the MCU is back on track. We all know the MCU has faltered. I mean, Captain America 4 was a real low point in the MCU. I thought, we're done. This is it. We're out the door. But no, they came back with Thunderbolts, which I truly loved. I thought a great movie. I've watched it a couple of times. I really adore that movie. We had Fantastic Four, which, it's in the word. It was fantastic. A real upswing for Marvel. We had Wonder Man, which I think could be my favorite of their shows, if maybe just behind WandaVision. I think Wonder Man is one of the best things they've done. And now we have Spider-Man 4, Brand New Day. This one blew my socks off. This, just everybody in the cinema, and it was packed, it was full. They just loved it. They were quiet through it, which means they were just invested. I heard a couple of sniffles from people crying, and this one is it's the perfect movie before we get into Doomsday. Now, of course, we have Vision Quest before that, but none of them are truly linked to Doomsday, but yet they bring such hype and such great quality before Doomsday that it's even more exciting. And to watch the trailer before Doomsday, or before Spider-Man of Doomsday, was just a treat to see Doom on the big screen. So Spider-Man, yeah, it's a sad one. I'll say that there's a lot more sadness in this one. Obviously, the end of the last one, was obviously very sad. We've seen Aunt May die. I think I bawled in that part, but this leads on from that, and it shows Peter Parker's life, which is depressing. The guy is lonely, he's sad, but at the same time, he's out doing Spider-Man things. And I think this is the first movie, really, truly, where we get to see a Spider-Man movie. The other movies were always connected to, Iron Man or Doctor Strange or that. But this one is the one where it's just Spider-Man helping the neighborhood out. And they show quite a bit of that. They show quite a bit of his life before, things kick off. They're showing him catching some villains. They're showing him just doing his everyday thing and how he's feeling and the loneliness that it would be to be the Spider-Man hero at that period. And it took its time with it, which I really loved. I really, really loved. And then when it kicked into the actual story of the movie, fantastic. And every character in it had enough. There was never anybody that was in it too much or too little. Even though I know I'm a big Hulk fan and maybe a little more Hulk, but then at the same time, I didn't want any more Hulk because this was a Spider-Man movie. I will say for the Hulk, this is the first time since Avengers, I think we truly got the Hulk. And maybe it was the first time ever we got like the proper Hulk for just a couple of moments. We had the real Hulk, the Hulk we have always should have had. Even in Thor Ragnarok, he was, it was just different. It wasn't the same. This Hulk was the Hulk we wanted, and to see it for a moment was, I mean, just that I need more of that. I really wish they could do a Hulk movie, but from what I know, they can't. they have to do movies with the Hulk in it. They can't do a Hulk movie because Universal have the rights to distribute any Hulk movie. Not to make it, but just to distribute it. So even if Marvel made it in the morning, they don't have the right to distribute the movie around to the cinemas and everything. And Universal have those rights, which is crazy and ridiculous. But that's why we don't have a Hulk movie. So we have also The Punisher, Frank Castle. I've watched the shows. I've watched One Shot. I mean, it was hard to know how they were going to play Frank in this one. If you watch the show, you'll know what I mean. How can you have somebody that would be for, over 18s in a movie the kids are going to watch? And they did it brilliant. Is there cursing? There's a little bit of cursing, but actually not too much. But it was still Frank being Frank, and I thought he might have been just at the start of the movie, but he wasn't. He was peppered all throughout the entire movie, and his relationship with Spider-Man is right. For me, I just felt like it was out of the comics. I felt, and this movie it feels like the most comic book movie that Tom Holland has done. There was the New York feel was just there, and the colors were dialed up just a little bit more. There was a little bit more color in it, and there was shots in it that you'll see, especially if when you watch it with him and MJ, you're going to see some colors and shots. They're so wonderfully done. So yeah, and the villain in it, I'm not going to give anything about the villain too much, only that it was fantastic to see that villain, and the future is absolutely bright for the MCU. Yeah, this one is absolutely worth watching and worth going to see. I have a feeling I'm going to be watching this one next week again. I have to go down as soon as I can, hopefully early next week, and watch it again. And just to say emotional in this movie is an understatement for MJ and Ned and Peter especially. There are some heartbreaking things in this movie that will have you choked up. So, prepare yourself for maybe a little watering of the eyes, because yeah, this one is this is a tough road for Peter, but there's some moments in it that it's going to make you smile, and it's all good and it's all very emotional. I think a second viewing will be it will be worth it. And is it better than the other Spider-Man movies, if that's on your mind? I would say No Way Home it's still I'm not sure. I have to watch this one again. If I had to choose right now, I can't even choose. So it's either as good as or it's better than No Way Home for me. It's really that good. No, post-credit scenes, you might wait. You might say, I'm going to watch the post-credit scene. It's not worth staying for at all. There's only one at the very end. That's all they have. And it's really, it was something I would imagine they just tagged on at the end. And it's not worth, you can wait, but it's not worth it. So, is it worth watching? Get your popcorn, get your Coke, get whatever, get your Sprite, and go and enjoy one of the best movies of the year. I could say, I know I just watched The Odyssey as well. I think, Project Hail Mary has been beaten for sure by Spider-Man. Odyssey, maybe even so. I'm a comic book movie guy, so this could be the best movie of the year for me. I'd have to watch Odyssey again. That's something I'm going to have to do, but man, they're killing it. I hope Tom Holland stays doing this for another 10 years. I really, really do. Go support your local cinema and enjoy the movies, and I'll see you all next time.